Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today making my predictions for the 2024 edition of Money in the Bank. We'll kick things off with a match for the World Heavyweight Championship. This will also be the short hype video of the PLE. That'll be up tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. And that'll be Damian Priest putting his title on the line against Seth Rollins. And if Rollins wins, Priest will have to leave the Judgment Day. And if Priest wins, Rollins cannot challenge for the title while he's still champion. Now before the last part, the stipulations were added for this match, I could see it going either way, to where Rollins and Gunther had a little thing going, so you would want to go back to that as the run into SummerSlam, since Gunther will be cashing in his King of the Ring, or you just keep it on Damian Priest. He's the world champion. Some of his stuff when he was bitching at the Judgment Day guys was to take care of Gunther or whatever. It was always someone else, and he wondered why they couldn't do it, and I thought, okay, SummerSlam, him and Gunther for the world title, Gunther handles it, and they all look at him going, I guess it wasn't that easy, huh? But now with the stipulations that have been added, it makes all the sense in the world to me that Seth Rollins be walking out the new World Heavyweight Champion here. If we just boil it down to the stipulations, I think everyone believes that at SummerSlam, Gunther will be the new champion. So if Rollins can't challenge Priest if he loses while he's still champion, the stipulation is only implicated for a month. Can you really do anything with that? Not really. And we saw on Monday night where Balor and Priest were kind of getting into it, where it seems like the Judgment Day is on its last legs in its current form and could crumble at any moment. And Priest getting booted out of the group, leaving with a loss here and losing his title, just sets up and plays into that more and leads to the Judgment Day Civil War, the implosion, where you have the Rhea people taking on the Liv people potentially down the road. And I think that'll be spearheaded by the Liv side being led by Finn Balor for the guys, and on the Rhea side it's clearly only Priest right now to go after the remaining members of Judgment Day. And it's kind of poetic that the original members of Judgment Day will be booted out of there more than likely, and it'll be taken over by a whole new group of people who were brought in by those original members. So now on to match number 2 of the evening, and that'll be our first Money in the Bank ladder match of the night. This will be the women's ladder match, where we'll see Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark all vying to become Miss Money in the Bank. Now this ladder match feels very straightforward to me, which kind of gives me a little bit of trepidation of picking them here, but I believe that Tiffany Stratton will be walking out Miss Money in the Bank. After what happened in the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, and in her side in the Queen of the Ring, where it seemed like she was the front runner and things just took a turn, I think this is kind of a makeup to where we've kind of distanced ourselves from that. It's been a decent amount of time in company eyes where that's forgotten about. Most people don't even know about it, and now Tiffany Stratton will have her sights set on getting gold at any time. I also think with Stratton getting the briefcase, this could lead to it being mixed in with the SummerSlam women's match, where Nia Jax would going in for Bayley's title after her Queen of the Ring win, where we've seen that relationship with Stratton and Nia Jax kind of formulating, and they've been becoming closer and closer on TV, to where we could see, hey, maybe Nia Jax just beats the hell out of Bayley and Tiffany Stratton slides in there, and they start playing that up leading in to the August PLE. So now on to our next match, and that'll be a 6-man tag where we'll see Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens team up to take on the Bloodline, which will be 3 of the 4 members, and they haven't announced yet, so it could be Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Solo Sikoa. 3 of them will be taking on that team. Now this kind of seems pretty straightforward to me, to where I think the Bloodline will be getting the win here, defeating Rhodes, Orton, and Owens. With what everyone thinks is coming at SummerSlam, where it'll be Cody taking on either Roman or Solo, I think the Bloodline getting a win here is the way to go to set that up. And this will also keep the streak going of Solo Sikoa not winning in the United States since last September. I even think that if all 4 members of the Bloodline are in the arena in this match, they can kind of play the numbers game, and that could lead to Cody eating the pin to even set up this title match at SummerSlam. And I think that'll all play into the return of Reigns later down the line, whether that be one of the SmackDowns leading into SummerSlam or at SummerSlam itself, to more than likely lead in to the Bloodline blow-up at Survivor Series. So now on to our co-main event of the evening, and that'll be for the Intercontinental Championship, where Sami Zayn will be putting his title on the line against Braun Breaker. Last month, I thought it was time for Sami Zayn to lose. I thought Chad Gable should beat him. And now, even more, I believe this month will be the end of the Sami Zayn title reign after Braun Breaker blasts through his sternum and wins the Intercontinental Championship here. I think with Braun Breaker being pissed that he wasn't in the King of the Ring tournament and showing his displeasure with Adam Pearce telling him this, that you kept me out of it, you don't know what you're doing here, pal, and him Also running into anyone that couldn't get out of the way like he's a drunken bull. I think this could play into that to where, hey, you kept me out. Now it's my time. I'm going to take this into my hands. And he's going to go on a run here with that Intercontinental Championship. Running through anyone and anyone to keep the title on what I will believe that it will be a very Goldberg-esque run here for the new IC champion Braun Breaker. So now on to our main event of the evening, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, where we'll see Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre all fighting for the briefcase. Now for me, I'd like to see Carmelo Hayes get the briefcase to be a change of pace of the new Money in the Bank briefcase holders comparative to what we've been seeing with the case, but I really don't think that'll be a chance. Like, I would have liked to see Dragunov get in here and then have him looming around after Gunther wins at SummerSlam being like, hey, I'm gonna get you just like I got you last time, and I can do it whenever I want. But I think it really boils down to three people. Jey Uso, who has all the yeet tags and the yeet lines and the yeet yat and all the yeet yock that he's been saying and all that. I think he could just take the briefcase and go on a thing waiting for the time. But I really don't know how that would work with him. I also think that Chad Gable could get help from either the Wyatts somehow mixing in to help him win this, or the Creed brothers pop up and that is finally formed on television to where he gets the briefcase after getting away from the Alpha Academy. And then there's Drew McIntyre, to where I could see McIntyre winning it, and then I thought he would hold on to it, but with him proclaiming that he's gonna become world champion on the same night he wins it, which number one, I think that kind of tips off that this match could be going on before the world championship match. But also, I wonder what Puxatawny Phil, if he's going to be taking his passport up north to Canada to see his old buddy Drew again. Because I could see it to where Drew wins the Money in the Bank briefcase early in the night. He's all happy. He's all set on. Whenever the Rollins and Damian Priest match happens, it's my time. I'm taking my title back. Thinking, oh, I knocked old Phil out weeks ago. He's not showing up. Old Peoria Phil's nowhere to be seen here. And then as he makes his way into the ring and more likely just hands over the briefcase to cash in, the referee who slid into the ring is not a referee anymore, and he gets kicked in the head or hit with a knee or something and gets cost again. And of the three options that I laid out that I think are the three most likely things to happen, as much as I don't like the idea of the Money in the Bank briefcase being wasted, I've changed my mind and I will not be picking Mana Yeet Jey Uso here. And I think Drew McIntyre will be winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. I just think the false sense of there's no Pensacola Phil flopping around here. I won the briefcase. If he wanted to stick it to me and cost me a moment, this is where he would have done it. Leading into that ultimate, this is where he actually was picking his spot. Because if Drew wins the briefcase, okay, I can just screw him from cashing and getting the title. If he doesn't win the briefcase, I don't need to show up and pop out, hey, I just came up to Canada to say hello and get a poutine and get on with my life and not get my hands dirty. That's a great weekend for me. And this all lead in and add to the match whenever it happens, whether that is SummerSlam like we all have been thinking, or another PLE a little later down the road depending on the recovery. I think Drew McIntyre will have the briefcase, and I don't know for how long, because Peterborough Phil will be there to not have things go well for Drew McIntyre at the end of the night in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So that'll do it for my predictions for the 2024 edition of Money in the Bank. Come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the PLE hype video short for Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. Also, the Superstar Spotlight for MJF that was supposed to go up on Wednesday. I don't want to double upload, so that'll be on Thursday this week. And there will be 2 spotlights next week. That'll be Bailey. The video is finally unblocked. And then it'll be Jamie Hayter on Wednesday for the AEW side. So if any of those videos interest you, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And as always, thanks for watching.